Hi, today we are going to walk through my LangGraph AI agent that I've built. I've been putting this off for a little time, so I'm just going to go through sort of what it is, look at a little bit of the code of some of the components, describe what's going on, and then do a quick demo. If there's other things that you'd like me to dive a bit deeper into, or if you have any questions about the code or things like that, can do that in another video. And this is all open sourced already, so you can just go and have a look at it for yourself. But this is an image of what sort of happens. So you can send a message or send a voice memo through Telegram. Depending on which route you take, it either translates the voice memo and then it sends a request to the LangGraph instance. The supervisor then interprets that message, decides what needs to be done, and then passes off to one of these 5 sub-agents. And these sub-agents have been broken down depending on what the subtasks need to be done, and I've tried to make them as focused as possible. So the contact agent connects to a Google Sheet and looks at contacts. This could be a CRM, but for the simple purposes of my life and not wanting to plug into a full CRM, I just used a Google Sheet. Calendar agent is Google Calendar. Notion is obviously Notion, and I have a few different databases there and lists and so on. I think Notion is a tool I use anyway, so that integration made sense. Email is also Google, and then meal planning agent is that's very different. That does meal planning for our family. So this is how it works. We'll start off with having a quick look at the server code, which is maybe the least interesting for you watching this video, but it's good to know how it works. So this is a single page of JavaScript, a Node.js server, which basically sets up a Telegram webhook, and then when you receive a voice message, it does what it needs to do. Let's see where that logic actually is. Oh, it's in the voice. I need to go and have a look at some of the actual logic here. So this service is Telegram service. So this is what's actually happening. So let's make this smaller again. So when I receive a voice message, I'm converting that data and then sending it to OpenAI to do some voice transcriptions. I get the transcribed text back, and then after that I post that data to the agent URL and create a new thread. That's how things work in LangGraph, with threads. Each conversation or each interaction you have with the LangGraph instant creates a new thread, and the agent sort of works throughout the thread. So I get this message back from OpenAI, and then I create a thread, and then I start passing that data on. Once again, I'm just sort of going at very high level here. If you want more details, then we can have another video. So this is the Telegram service, and then we're going to shift over to the LangGraph instance now. How that looks is we have this, we have a bunch of different prompts, but we'll start with the main. This is how a lot of LangGraph instances sort of look. You have these edges and these nodes. So this is the start node, start edge, which is a supervisor, and then you have the supervisor node. And then we used a slightly different pattern to what is normally done, which is that we create a bunch of different sub-agents, and then we add them programmatically. We did this because we were constantly sort of adding new agents, and we didn't want to have to create new files for the agents all the time. So we put these into a YAML file, but we'll go through that. So this is the main.py file that runs. We can quickly have a look at the supervisor, and then we'll have a look at the sub-agents. So the supervisor agent is quite simple. We have the supervisor prompt, which sort of details who the sub-agents are, what they do, what sort of prompts they can do, some more specific things about how to best achieve goals for me, and these have been added over time as we've sort of realized the limitations of the models themselves. But I think as the models get better, these prompts will become shorter and shorter and more vague and more vague. What we also found was that by using like a model such as 4.0 Mini, then you would have to be much more explicit in all of the prompting, especially the supervisor prompting. But now that I'm going to be testing 4.1 Mini, which is a lot better, I presume, I think it's going to be much better, and we probably could remove quite a lot of this prompting. But once again, this is the supervisor prompt, and then we have a bunch of agents. And so how the agents are configured is actually through this React Agent Factory. React Agents is something that you're going to hear of if you're working with LangGraph. It's a nice sort of simple way to build agents in LangGraph. And what we do here is that we go and we get the agent prompt, the agent tools, and the agent model from a YAML file, and we build these agents one after the other. So let's go and have a quick look at that YAML file so we can understand what I mean when I say that we're building them dynamically. So in this YAML file, you have agents, and then you have a bunch of different agents. You have the meal planner, calendar, and so on. Let's have a look at the calendar one, because that's got some interesting tools. So we have the agent name. I'll make this a bit bigger. The description, the model that it's being used. So you can use different models for different agents depending on sort of how difficult the subtasks are. And then you have a prompt, and each agent follows a very similar prompt. Role and context, objective, instructions, tools, so the number of tools in the tool list. This is passed in dynamically, and we'll go and have a look at that a bit later. Supervisor agent, if you are not capable of solving a subtask, then communicate this clearly to the supervisor. That's an important part of the prompt, because what we found was that if it wasn't able to complete a task, then it was just making stuff up. And so we needed to be explicit that no, tell the supervisor you cannot do it. And then we have the tools here. So these tools are formatted in this way so that they can be grabbed from the appropriate place in the code. So get current date and time, get calendar events, and add calendar events. So now we can go and have a look at this calendar agent's tools. So we have this Python file, and we have a bunch of environmental variables here for different calendars, and then we have the tools. So we have this little decorator called @tool, which is from LangChain or LangGraph, and these tools can get sort of attached on to the specific agent. So we have get time, and this is just a standard, datetime function. Then we have these helper functions here, format datetime, and for example here, so we, in get calendar events, we load some credentials, get the start date, you do what we need to do, and make the make the request to Google. And this tool takes in a start date and end date. And you'll notice that in Get Calendar Events, we specify start date and end date in the prompt itself. What else to show? I think that's roughly it. There's some things around setting up, which I'm not going to go into in this video, but in the README, you sort of have what you need there in terms of everything that I've just discussed, and how to launch and so on. So let's do a quick demo. Nerve-wracking. What I can say is that we have, I've got the Telegram server running in PM2, and I have this LangGraph instance running in Docker. I actually need to rebuild this quickly. And we can just have a look at this container. I can print the logs for the container so to make sure everything is working correctly. So this looks this looks good. So now we can open up Telegram and we can run a quick test. Oops, I'm wondering what that's going to do. Okay, so let's do another. Okay, can you please add a note to Notion just to make sure that everything is working for this YouTube video? Thanks. So it's going to be interesting if this works correctly. We can come over here to PM2. Okay, all right, so it seems like it's worked. It's added a note to my mind base, making sure that everything is working. So that's great. I can quickly come up here and have a look. I'm juggling lots of things around now. So I think what is also interesting is that we can come over to Langsmith, which is built into LangGraph, and we can see here what I expressed. Okay, can you please add a note to Notion just to make sure that everything is working for this YouTube video? Thanks. And then the supervisor interprets that the next task is the next agent is the Notion agent, and then it also adds this task description for the agent, which is please add a new entry into the Notion Mindbase database with the content just to make sure that everything is working for YouTube video, and categorize it as note. So that's really cool. And then we go to the Notion agent, and it has received this information from the supervisor. It then has this input that it gives to one of its tools, and then the agent it's all successful, and then it says I have added a note to the Mindbase with the content blah blah blah. Back to the supervisor, and the supervisor says yeah, great, I've added the note, and then it responds to me. So that was pretty cool. Let's just go to Mindbase and come down here. We see May 15th, 10:24, just to make sure that everything is working for this YouTube video. So, great. So that's one example. We can also do another example, which is, can you please send Ben Chatwin an email saying that he needs to hurry up and get this YouTube video out to people who are asking for it. So the nice thing about voice is that you can just speak how you would normally speak, and you don't have to be so precise with words. And the agents are smart enough to figure out what you need to do. So it says that it sent this email. Let's go and have a look. Okay, Ben Chatwin. Hey Ben, you need to hurry up and get this YouTube video out to people asking for it. So you can see that it's worked. We can come back and have a look at Langsmith just for another example. And this one's actually a little bit more interesting because what it's done is it's first gone to the contact agent, which has gone and looked up Ben Chatwin in my Google Sheet and got my email address, which I'm maybe not sure I should be putting on YouTube, but yeah, okay, whatever. And then it sent that email to me. So it's used a series of agents and a series of functions. So it's used the contact agent to go and get the information, and then it's used the email agent to go and send the information. Okay, so that's all I sort of wanted to do today. If you have any questions or you need some help with anything, I have done a little bit of consulting around this, so I'm open to help and to engage with you, and have a great day. Thanks.